All right, everybody. My name is S.A. Grant, the host of Boss Uncaged podcast. So today we're going to talk about a quick 3x3 cloud-based video editing system. And what that really means is that it's a system that uses 3 different softwares, and we're going to go over 3 different options inside each software. So we're going to go over a general overview. We're going to go through some live editing, and then we're going to talk about exporting out. By doing this, the objective is to learn how to create 30-second to 15-second customized podcast video trailers with closed captions and custom thumbnails. But the goal is you want to do all of this online in the cloud without having to have any local software. You know, a lot of times people are looking for strong computers to run a lot of different editing things and render them out. This way you can kind of do everything on the cloud. And in addition to that, you can outsource everything, right? Once you kind of have these systems in place, you can kind of record a video and say, hey, this is what I need you to do. Step and repeat, step and repeat. So let's jump into it. Who am I? So again, I said, my name is S.A. Grant. I'm an author, a speaker, an adrenaline junkie. I'm a loving family man, marketer, strategy, designer, developer, founder of Cerebral Media, host of Boss Uncaged podcast, and my journey continues because, again, I'm constantly learning, much like you guys. So where I'm going to end up, and well, we both will be surprised, right? So let's dive more into the lesson plan. Lesson plan. So we got 3 lessons, and you can kind of see the 3x3 very clear and transparent here. So module 1, the first 3 lessons in that are going to be overview, demo, and export and or sharing of InVideo. So InVideo essentially is going to replace your localized editing software. All right. Then Happy Scribe is a software that's cloud-based again, that's going to be able to transcribe your video, audio into transcriptions and burn them directly into your videos, or you could download the transcription files and use it for any other platform that you would like. In that module, we're going to go over the overview and features, demoing some live transcriptions, and we're also going to talk about downloading and exporting. Number 3 is the Thumbnail Blaster, and that one is cloud-driven as well. And the beauty of that particular platform, it plugs directly into YouTube, and it allows you to make custom and editable templates for your thumbnails and allows you to update them on the fly. So let's jump into it. So InVideo, right? Just thinking about InVideo, when I found InVideo, I found it through a lifetime deal through AppSumo, and I fell in love with the platform just because it was so flexible and there was so many different options and so many different variables and so many different themes and templates. As you kind of see from that image in the background moving, you can kind of see like the opportunity to use this platform. So let's jump into it and kind of look a little bit underneath the hood and see what it has to offer.
All right, so InVideo, it's an online platform that's cloud-based that allows you to edit things pretty quickly and on the fly. And considering that they have templates for everything, it's kind of a golden nugget to have access to something along this way. It makes it very easy for you to transition from your current branding and kind of tweak and make updates and go ahead and create content really quickly. So these are just giving you an overview of all the templates. Keep in mind, like all these shapes, colors could be modified, update. These images could be modified, update. These overlaying objects that are moving could be modified and update. So you want to look at it from like a branding standpoint, like find a template that kind of gets really close to your brand, right? Let's say if you have a Halloween brand and this is pretty much set, ready for you to go, you can kind of just drag and drop things in there and make the transition very, very, very easy. The other beautiful part of this platform is that they have multiple different sizes ready to go. So all of these designs, they've created them in multiple platforms. So you have the YouTube format, and then if you want to look at the same exact, right, you would just click on Instagram, and then it'll give you the Instagram formatting for these. Right. So again, obviously there's thousands of variables, thousands of options, but you can kind of see how this can be very fruitful. All right, let's look at the Facebook feeds, for example. Same thing again. So you've seen this image of this woman on several different ones so far. So again, it makes it very easy for you to transfer into them, right? So there's also an option called text to video. So if you have a PowerPoint presentation that has text in it, you can obviously just copy that text, drop it in, and then format that text based upon like the headlines, based upon call of actions, and itemize them out. And literally you can kind of replace the content behind the scenes. So let's take a look at one of these templates just really quickly. So if we're going into a project, that's the beautiful part of this platform, that you can have multiple different projects, you could have multiple users, and you could have admins and you could have editors. So I'm just going to take a look at this, for example. This is a template that I've already created that I've set up to allows me to do things pretty quickly if I want to. So I'm just going to click edit, right? Much like if I had just selected the template on the homepage. And I'm just going to kind of just show you a couple tips of the environment. All right, so on the left-hand side, this is like all your library items, right? You have music. They have a music library in there that allows you to select and search any additional music that's built into their system. You can obviously test it, tells you how long the music is, so you can kind of grab that music, drag and drop it in. Text is the same thing. You have all these different variable text options. And obviously you can customize each one of them as you see fit, but you get to drag and drop them in. You have stickers to overlay on top. You have effects, and the effects are like transitions, animations, to give you a couple different things, right? So I can kind of drag that in and drop it. Let me see. So I'm just going to click it and add it. So it looks like some of the features, they've updated it. They used to be drag and drop everything. So I guess now you could just kind of click some of them. Let me hit play and see what that looks like instantly. Give it a second for it to render. Yeah. Now, obviously, I mean, that's hideous, but the point is, if I had a black background, I wanted to show some fireworks, it's literally that easy for something like that to come in to play. Your shapes are essentially all the same. You have 3D shapes, you have organic shapes, you have lines, and then you also have these enhancers. So these are like your masks. You can kind of change based upon, what you're trying to do. So if I'm trying to create a mask on something, I can select it and then click this mask and it'll create that mask for me directly on the fly. Well, obviously this template that I'm using, I've customized it to my brand. So everything you'll see in there essentially come from my upload folders. So it allows me to upload, and you can see I have client stuff in here. I have videos in here. I have like images, stills, like everything that I ever want, because there's really no limitation on what I can upload except for the size of the file. It's 800 megs per upload. So if I'm looking at swapping out this, for example, I would click on it, and then literally I could just drag and drop that image on top. It's going to ask me, hey, do you want to replace or do you want to add? Well, if I want to replace, I'll just hit replace. Now it replaces it. So you guys see how easy it is. Same thing for this guy right here, Ty Cohen. If I want to update Ty Cohen with John, I'll drag him over and hit replace, and it just automatically replaces. So it makes my template very easy for me to kind of transition into the next phase. So if I go over to this is a video of me and Ty having a conversation, like a podcast interview. If I hit play really quickly,
understand like the journey that you went
all right,
50,000,
where something happens up here.
All right, so that just kind of gives you like a quick overview. For that video, I mean, literally I could just drag this. I'm going to hover it, trying to figure out where in here I need it to go. I think right now the layer's probably locked, but if I were to drop it in there, it's just going to say, hey, it's going to try to replace that content, or in this case, just added it on. So in the next section, I'm going to show you exactly on how to edit and how to unlock layers, because I mean, this is just like the top overview of kind of what the next steps are. All right, see you in the next video. All right, guys, lesson 2 on editing in video. So obviously this is more so user-friendly and keeps it simple if you just kind of want to move things around. But if you want to dive into the more core of the editing, then you would go to Advanced Timeline. All right, so as you click Advanced Timeline, it kind of gives you the standard Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, where everything is essentially situated based upon layers and is based upon timelines. So, and you kind of see there's an edit, so you can edit the labeling of them, and there's also a lock. So I think in the last video, I was trying to drag in a video clip, and obviously one of these layers were locked, and that's why it would not allow me to update it or change it. So let's go into, and see how this little blue box pops over everything? That's the golden nugget of this situation. So it allows you to kind of select whatever it is you want to select. So I'm going to select a video, for example. And then on the right-hand side, it has all the quick tools to edit this video. So I can do a scene edit, I can do video edit, I can crop it, I can trim it, I can loop it, turn sound on and off. If I decided I wanted to trim the video, this is kind of more like linear editing. I'm gonna hit trim, and then it's gonna load a screen, and it's gonna allow me to scrub the video to kind of see my in points and my out points. All right, so this is the entire video. These little handlebars right here allow me to pull them, and it's going to give you time code to say how long this video clip is. So this is kind of like standard editing, and this is a little bit more advanced. And again, keep in mind, this is cloud, so it's going to make it very easy for you to kind of just log in, get some edits, drop some stuff in the timeline, update the template, and then export out. So that's the easy way of editing like the video. And there you also have fade in, fade out. So I can say, hey, I want you to start fading in 2 seconds before, 2 seconds after. The playback speed, which is a kind of cool feature that I can kind of speed it up or slow it down. Video sizing options. I can say I want to crop the screen. And obviously there's a bunch of other little details and nuances that's all part of this platform. But editing on this platform is very transparent, very intuitive in the sense that, hey, this is your layers, these are your videos, these are your handles. Your music layer is obviously something that you can kind of just import in, and I can dive into that just really quickly. Music. This platform also comes with royalty-free music. So obviously I have a complete list of music items on the left, and then I could literally just drag and drop them in, or I could insert them in here, or I could upload my own, right? So my collection says it's my files that I've uploaded. So click upload, then you go to my collection, and then whatever you uploaded would be in that collection of audio files. So you could have your podcast uploaded, you could have music just from your podcast uploaded, you could have anything that you've composed separately uploaded as well, and you can customize all these different elements into one seamless video. And then once you're done with that, you can click on basic. And then you can kind of see kind of like your rough timeline. This is that one video clip that I was editing a second ago. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the end, right? Because it's obviously an outro video clip. So this is my outro video clip. And in here, obviously there's layers and there's buttons and there's all these other things. Because once I get into YouTube, it gives me opportunity to put more thumbnails or next videos or call of action clips. So, and this is the same exact setup as the other one. I would click advance. Give it a second to load, and this is what we're looking at. So some of these are animated in, right? So if I click play, you can kind of see what the animation looks like. Just give it a second for it to load. All right, so it's just a simple animation, but obviously it all comes down to the timing, right? So you kind of see once I scrub to the left, that one disappears. I scrub to the left of that, that other one disappears, and I scrub to the left, the top two. Well, the Apple Music and the link disappears. So this is just a rough, quick way of editing online. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to export these videos out and how to get them into the next phase after exporting, which could be either YouTube directly from here, or then you can kind of go into transcriptions. See you in the next video. All right, so we're talking about exporting and sharing the video files once they're created. There's two different opportunities, right? So one would be to export this video directly as it is, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So you select your project, you'll give it a second for it to load. Once that project hits at 100%, the screen will then give you an opportunity to see your editing exactly where you left it off last. From there, you want to move up to the top right-hand corner and just click export. Now, this export is gonna, take some time to process all the, keep in mind, this is cloud, right? So it's pretty quick, but at the same time, it takes a period of time, much like rendering out of any other application like Adobe Premiere or anything else for that matter. So for right now, this is the landing page that you're gonna be looking at. You kind of see the rendering bar, and once it starts going, it'll move pretty quickly. So in a few minutes, this should be done. But over here is opportunity. Once it's done, these will become active. So you'll be able to share between Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and you'll have a direct download for your 1080p high resolution video. So while that's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to show you what it's going to look like once it's done. So once it's done, now you have your rendered video. You can play, see the quality of the video, see what's going on. You can click download here. Once you click download, it's going to show up on the bottom left corner. It's going to start to download. Download it pretty quickly. And the gold mine of this opportunity is the share to YouTube. So again, this is one step of 3, and the goal for this project is to show you guys how you can kind of do a step and repeat on editing without having to know editing. That way you can kind of assign it to PAs and VAs to make it a lot easier for you to have these conversions. So let's say if you're done and you don't want to do anything else to this video and you just want to upload it as is, then you would click share. And once you set up your YouTube, the YouTube setup is essentially you're just logging into your Gmail account, kind of go through the back end, you'll click I want to share. It's going to pop up a screen. It's going to ask you for your Gmail login. You go through that, you verify, and then moving forward, you'll have access to that particular YouTube channel, right? So in here, you have opportunity to type in your headline, type in any other verbiage that you want, and then you would hit upload. And obviously it'll take a minute or two for it to render out from this environment and upload directly into YouTube. Same thing for Facebook, Twitter, and also you'll have a share link, right? One other thing on here is that when you're on the landing overview page, and this is just the project view, you can do everything we just did on that screen from here, right? So I can say I want to download it from here. It's going to show up in the bottom left-hand corner. If I want to share it to any one of these 4 options, I could definitely share it. And again, just to kind of show you what that looks like, it's going to be the same exact screen as inside. So they give you 2 opportunities to export out and to share to YouTube. All right, let's move on to the next part of this project.
All right, so this, guys, is essentially just a quick recap. So lesson 1, we kind of went over the overview and the features, and you can kind of see a list of features on there. And obviously that's just a short list. There's dozens more features included in this platform. The editing is very simple. It's, you lock layers, you unlock layers, you trim your video, you do live edit on your timelines, you add your music, and pretty much you'll have a video fairly quickly. Obviously, you can get a little bit more complex than that, but in this platform, it's really designed for turning and burning and to keep things quick and simple. And then after that, you have like a general recap on lesson 3 on how to export out from video. So you would click export, you would click download, and then also you could also hit share. All right, so let's dive into module number 2. Happy Scribe. So a lot of people may say, why would you want to use some software to do transcriptions when essentially you can do transcriptions through YouTube, you can do transcriptions through some of your podcast channels, you can do transcriptions in a lot of different ways. The reason why I use this platform is because it has a lot of different feature sets that not only help with transcriptions, but also helps with subtitle generating. And that's the difference between the two. Transcriptions are essentially taking the audio file and is transcribing it. The subtitles are usually on the bottom of videos, and this platform does both of them for you. So let's jump into the first video and kind of just get an overview of what this platform looks like. And again, the link is on the screen if you want to go ahead and type that in and download or take a look at the platform live.
All right, so you've exported out from InVideo, and then you're wondering why would you want to use Transcribe? So I'm going to give you a quick overview of why you want to use Transcribe and just kind of the way things are set up in here. So you have your dashboard, and in your dashboard you have workplaces. So I could say this is my podcast sneak previews. This could be clients. This could be multiple different things, and each one of these I could have assigned individuals to them. So if I'm looking at Boss Uncaged, the podcast, and I'm looking at setting up transcriptions for that, I'll go ahead and click on that. And let's see how long it's going to take for this to process, right? So a couple seconds, and it kind of just gives you a kind of rundown of, and you can see there's 2 different icons. There's a red icon and there's a blue icon, right? Obviously, subtitling is going to be blue, transcriptions are going to be red, and there's kind of a tip to this, right? One of the tips is when you upload a file, right? If I go to upload, it's going to give me an opportunity to pick between transcriptions and subtitles. The trick is you want to pick transcriptions for everything, no matter if it's video or audio or whatever, because transcriptions, you could then convert those into subtitles, but you can't convert subtitles into transcriptions. So you would click transcribe, And then you get this screen, and it connects to everything, right? It connects to YouTube. So again, if you had uploaded directly to your YouTube channel from InVideo before, now you have opportunity to kind of download, but that's an extra step, right? I would just download directly from InVideo. I would import it into HappyScribe. I would select my folder. You could add your own vocabulary in there. It's going to take some time for it to upload and start transcribing. So I'm going to say, hey, I want you to automatically transcribe and auto-populate this file once I select the file. Once that's done, it's then going to go to another screen that looks like this. So it's going to go through and it's going to transcribe all the audio. It's going to give you all the time code on the left-hand side. And obviously you have a scrub bar on the bottom. And this is why I like to do my transcriptions and my overlays in this environment, because it makes the editing so much easier that I can literally see exactly where I'm at, look at the verbiage, right? And then I can see that it's highlighted in blue. And if I want to, I could highlight it right then and there, and I can make the modifications right then and there. Right? So if there's something that I want to change, I could literally come in there and I could change B. Maybe I made a capital. Whatever it is, you can see it happens here on the left and it happens here on the right live. So you not only get to see your transcriptions in chronological order from top to bottom, but you also get to see what it's going to look like in the environment. Obviously, there's some editing tools that you can utilize, right? So you could edit the subtitle limits, you could format the subtitles. If I went in here, I could change the color, I could make it from a wrap to an outline, or I could then say, hey, I want it to be in a box. Right now, everything is on top of black, so it's going to be kind of hard to see it, but if I wanted to change the box color, that's what the box color would look like. Then I would hit save, and everything I've just done would then show up live on here, right? So then I have opportunity now to say, okay, this is all my copy editing is done. I'm checking all my spelling, all my grammar, which is really easy to do it this way. If you kind of see it, it's going to automatically highlight things that are showing up in red. So you can kind of go in and make those edits and changes if they need to be. And then once everything is said and done, then you have opportunity to come over to and download. So if I hit download, now I have opportunity to do two different things. I could download the video with the transcription and subtitles burned into the video exactly as I see it here. Or if I want to use this transcription subtitling for something else, then I could download it. So if I'm going to pass it on to an editor for Final Cut Pro, I could export out the Final Cut Pro. I could export out the Premiere Pro marks. I could do Avid. I could do subtitles. I could do Facebook subtitles. I mean, the opportunity to use the subtitles from this environment are essentially endless. At that point, once I hit download, I'll hit it just so you can kind of see it. This is going to start rendering it out. And again, on the bottom left-hand corner, it's going to then say, hey, it's downloading this video. And then I'll go into the next step, which will have an opportunity to show you, now you know how to edit, now you know how to transcribe. Now, how do you kind of make thumbnails in the cloud and make it systematic to where people can do it for you versus you doing it for yourself?
All right, guys. So the quick recap on this one, obviously, is an overview. You can tell that I definitely like this platform. There's a lot of bells and whistles that come with it. I just, put the top 10 on there as far as speaker identification, sharing links, automatic transcriptions. You can even take this thing and embed it on your website. So think about it. If you're transcribing your podcast, instead of you having like just type on your podcast, you could actually have an application coming directly from this platform that has your podcast live transcriptions on your website. In addition to that, we went over lesson 2, which is demo editing, which is just reviewing the transcription, scrubbing through the timeline, fixing typos, formatting subtitles. And then from there, you jump into your download, export. And obviously with that, you can directly download it into a video file, or you could download the core file of XML or the SRT or the TXT file with the transcriptions embedded in them. So let's dive into module 3. Thumbnails. All right, so thumbnails we're going to use Thumbnail Blaster, and this platform is a pretty fun platform, pretty creative platform, a lot of flexibility for design. Let's dive in.
Yep, so this module is, we're going to go over the overview of Thumbnail Blaster. So, once you log into Thumbnail Blaster, you kind of see it's pretty clean and simple. You have your YouTube accounts. And obviously you can add more than one by clicking on add. You can add a Vimeo account. And the steps to do that is pretty simple. You would just literally click on it. It'll then ask you for which email account you want to go through. You would select it, select your YouTube account, and then confirm, and then it will show up below like this, right? So this is the account that I just threw in here with a couple of videos to run this demo. You could also see thumbnails published and also thumbnails that were created. So that's like the general overview of the dashboard of this system. Then if you want to go to creating thumbnails, we'll look at that now. So you click on thumbnail creator. Give it a second for it to load. So it'll take a second because obviously all this is cloud, so it's just rendering through, and then it should show you shortly what that's going to look like. It's going to be a new landing page, and it's loading directly from the current YouTube channel. So you can see right here where it says account. Then I have opportunity to, if I have multiple accounts, then I can select multiple accounts and switch between them. It also has agency platform on this, so it allows you to manage, dozens of YouTube accounts all at the same time. Once you're in here, then the next step is how to edit and how to build out the thumbnails. And the beauty of this system is that once you create the thumbnails, they're automatically going to sync on your YouTube account once the YouTube account is connected here. So you don't have to download any images. Only thing you have to do is just modify, customize, and then hit upload, save, and publish, and it'll just upload for you directly to your YouTube channel. All right. So in the last video, we went over just a general overview of kind of like how this account's set up and, where things are. So let's look at just doing a quick edit so you kind of see how easy and quick it is to modify and edit YouTube thumbnails. So I'm just going to look for one of these down here that potentially I could update pretty quickly. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go ahead and click that. So that's the first step. The first step is you want to click yes on that. It's already saying it has a thumbnail, but then again, you can update and modify thumbnails. So after that, then I'm going to hit next step. Now it's going to say via the AI, hey, these are the three thumbnail designs that we recommend. Obviously, you could use any one of these thumbnails that you would like, or you can create custom thumbnails, right? You can create custom templates. So I'm going to go into one of my custom templates, click that out. So this is preferred, this is club choice, and obviously there's different levels and different themes. So, and obviously the basic level is predefined, and then after that you can go up to the club level. So for this particular demo, I'm just going to show you using my template, right? So I'm going to hit use the template. So what it's going to do is then it's going to load that template in. So this is the template, right? So obviously I need to update a couple things. I need to update the titling, right? I need to update this image. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on image, right? And then I'm going to click on select frame. So selecting frame, what that's going to do is going to load the video and it's going to let me select the frame from the video. So I'm just going to scrub down to a scene that I want just really quickly so you guys can kind of get a gist of how this works. All right, so I'm just saying if I want that frame, I'm going to click load this frame. Then I'm going to go ahead and right click on it. I'm going to save this image. Then I'm going to hit close. Then I'm going to upload that image that I just took from the video. That's that image right there. Give it a second for it to load in. There's the image. All right, it's going to automatically load it. I'm just going to go ahead and remove it because I want to replace the image that's already there. So this image, I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to hit change image. I'm going to select that image. I'm going to say I want to replace the image. It's going to replace the image. I'm just going to move it over. So just for purposes to kind of keep things moving, I'm just going to leave it. I'll change up the titles later. And then you have two options. I could save as image, right? Or I can save and continue. So I'm going to click save and continue. Yes, I want to save the template. It's just going to revise the template with the new image. Give it a second for it to process. And as it's processing, what it's doing is pretty much creating the thumbnail. And then next I'm going to do is I want to publish the thumbnail. So that's the thumbnail. Then I'm going to hit publish. It's going to say, hey, do you want to update this account for this video, and then I can hit publish now. All right. So I'm going to hit publish now. Takes a couple seconds for it to process. It automatically syncs up to the account by default. So now if I go back to the YouTube account, what I should see is that new thumbnail on the YouTube account. So let me hit refresh and go ahead and click thumbnail creator, and it's going to give me the list of all the videos. So just for confirmation that it's uploaded to YouTube, give it a second for it to load. That's the only thing about cloud platforms is sometimes there's a bit of a lag, but usually they're pretty quick. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm looking for Harris's thumbnail. So there it is. That is the thumbnail. That is the video. And there's the thumbnail, right? So again, it's pretty straightforward. And again, the task of this is to set it up to where you can have a PA kind of follow these steps, create one of these videos, send it to them. And then all they'll literally have to do is the 5 or 6 steps that we just did, which is log in, load it, take a screenshot, upload the screenshot, then hit publish, and then it'll be live on YouTube literally in a couple of minutes.
All right, guys. So a quick recap on this one. Obviously, lesson 1 was the overview of the features. This is a very graphic platform. I'm a graphics guy, so I definitely love using this platform. You can customize it down to every single detail that you would ever want. There's not really no limitations on the customization of this. The thumbnail generator is just simple. You just kind of select your template, and then you go to step 2, which is just edit and customize it, right? And then step 3, which is lesson 3, is that you sync it to YouTube. And as you just saw in the last video, that took like maybe less than like 30 seconds to kind of really do it once you kind of get into a rhythm of doing these things, right? So again, so resource links, everything that we use to create this was listed out here, right? So we have Fiverr. Fiverr is the platform that does lifetime deals. In video is lesson 1 of the first thing that we looked at as far as editing videos. The video to GIF converter is just a little plugin that is a website that I use to convert videos to GIFs that I actually use to create this presentation. AppSumo, again, that's the platform that gives you lifetime deals, and InVideo and HappyScribe are the 2 softwares that I've gotten from AppSumo. So you can definitely check out, they always have new products on there. HappyScribe is the one we use for transcriptions. Thumbnail Blaster is what we use for thumbnails. And then obviously you have royalty-free videos. You can go check out Deposit Photos, and they have a pretty robust library for really cheap costs. And then we have the Creation Animation Graphics. This platform is another platform that I have access to from AppSumo, but it kind of gives you quick animations, quick ads, and it's all video-driven stuff. So you can obviously use whatever you create on that platform on YouTube as well. If you have opportunity to definitely check out my podcast. And in closing, try the platforms out. I mean, you really got nothing to lose, but to kind of learn something that's very simple and clean, something that can be very creative, and something that can be systematically done through your team. That way you can not have to worry about it. You can focus more so on creating great content, because that's what we really want to do. We're content creators, so we want to create the content and not necessarily have to edit everything and do everything. So that's what the bare bones of this presentation is really about. If you have opportunity, again, check out my podcast at podcast.bossuncaged.com. You can definitely check out my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, and like that sample YouTube channel that I just showed you guys at bossuncaged.com/YouTube. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at info@sagrant.com. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.